The results have been phenomenal. We had one guy that I think the most lost in 12 months is 190 pounds. That's what inspires me. I do this because of these people that we're helping.
Welcome back to the Daily Coach YouTube channel. Today I have my super friend Lance Farrell of Farrell's Extreme Bodyshaping joining us all the way from Iowa. Lance, welcome to Kim Daily TV.
Thanks, Kim. It's nice to be here.
I am so happy to have Super Lance. He always calls me Super Kim, so I just call him Super Lance. He is Super Lance.
Touché,
So
right?
guys, a couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to meet Lance in one of his locations in Dallas, Texas. I didn't know that much about Farrell's at the time, and I walked into this location, and unbeknownst to me, Lance flew all the way from Iowa to meet Kim Daly in that location. I was totally beside myself. And that's just the kind of guy that he is. That's why he's Super Lance. But I was able to meet owners who used to be a member of Farrell's in Chicago, I believe it was, and they got transferred for a job down to Dallas. And they were so fanatical about Farrell's extreme body shaping that when there wasn't one in their new town in Dallas or their new city, they decided to open one, and then they opened a second one. And I was like, what makes Farrell's extreme body shaping so different? Fitness is a crowded space. Every time I show a fitness concept, candidates say, I mean, really? Isn't my market saturated? How do we compete? That's the show that we're going to talk about today. That's why I brought Lance on, because he has a very distinct customer avatar, and he has a way of drawing these people in. And like I said, creating this cult like following, because he is impacting these people's lives. So this show is as much for franchisors that are listening, tuning in to try to figure out how do I really differentiate myself, as it is for candidates who kind of come to the idea of owning a business and then talk themselves out of it because their area has too many or is saturated, because there's always room to compete when you have a clearly defined customer avatar and a leader like Lance Farrell. So Lance, with that setup, I want you to tell the Kim Daly followers more about extreme body shaping and how you started this franchise.
Thanks, Kim. When you talk about a crowded space, fitness is very crowded. There are a ton of options for people out there and a lot of really, really good options. So it is crowded there, but you got to find your niche. Our niche is really helping people lose body fat. We're more of a weight loss concept than we are a fitness studio. And the reason I say that is we track everything. So from the very, very beginning, we've tracked how much pounds people lose, how much body fat, and it's been a remarkable number total for the past 20 years with 200,000 people that have gone through. We've helped them lose nearly 5 million pounds of body fat, and most have kept it off. So we're very proud of that.
Did you hear me? 5 million pounds his followers have lost. That's why there's a cult like following to extreme body shaping.
Yeah, it's very simple. All we do is use what bodybuilders have known for years. So we apply the same type of nutrition, meal planning with strength training, with cardiovascular, and who's got the best physiques in the world? It's bodybuilders. So why don't we just borrow what they do? And it actually stemmed from a book I read years ago called Body for Life by Bill Phelps. All we've done is apply his processes to our system and add that martial arts culture. The martial arts cultures, the Mr. Miyagi Danielson, really help people focus on their strengths. Let's build on their strengths, not focus on their weaknesses, but let's help them, let's lift them up and teach them how to live healthy for life. So it's not a one-shot deal. It's how do we teach them how to live healthy and make better choices? So that's what we're really all about. And when people start getting results, we have walking billboards running around and people are saying, wow, what are you doing? Oh, I go to Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. Now their friends are coming in. It snowballs.
It's so unbelievable. It snowballs to the tune of like people who come in and lose a whole bunch of weight who then want to work for you. Tell us some stories about some of your employees who were once just customers.
Yeah, that's how we originally started. So I really didn't have intentions of franchising in the beginning. And I had Woody Little came up to me and said, "Hey, I want to open one of these in Grimes, which is a suburb of Des Moines where we started." And I said, "Well, he came with two long, big stack full of books of research on nutrition and fitness and stuff." And I knew he was going to do his own if we didn't do a license. So we had to do a license with him. And then we sold about six more in the metro area, and it ended up everybody was getting good results. We were able to duplicate it. But once we moved outside of Des Moines, went to Omaha, went to Cedar Rapids, outside of our marketing reach, and those were successful, we decided to make it a franchise. But yeah, so everybody that grew the first 18 years was a member, then became an instructor, a coach, and then raised their hand and said, "Hey, I want to pay this forward. I want to take it out somewhere else." So we actually had people moving out of Des Moines and Cedar Rapids mainly and going to Blaine, Minnesota in the Twin Cities, or Sioux Falls, South Dakota, or wherever they were going. They were moving from a current store. So they were really being pioneers and moving out there. So yeah, that's how we grew to 50 plus stores just organically, pure organic growth.
That's amazing. How many open locations do you have today?
We have 56 today. COVID set us back a little bit, but it's kind of a recharge. Now we're really pumped, and we've put a lot of new things in place to really help our franchise grow. So we're excited about it.
Plus, there's like nationwide, like COVID 20,
Yeah,
and everybody needs to get off their butt.
yeah. And actually, Kim, the average weight gained in 2020 was 29 pounds. The average,
Oh, wow, that's crazy. That's what happens when people are stressed out.
right?
So, guys, he's talking about more than fitness. How many fitness concepts out there today that are franchises do more than just the fitness component? This is a total body program. They even have cookbooks created with recipes that are from their past customers, correct? Or current customers, right? I've
That
seen the
that's
cookbook.
correct. Yeah, it is very much so.
Yeah. And when you first sign up for the program, do you still take people through that sort of sit up, push up, mile run, like kind of like you're in the army, like kind of like that little boot camp where you want to see where people are starting from so you have a baseline measurement that then you can measure to, watch the improvement?
Yeah, we call that the orientation. So when people get started for their first 10-week challenge, and they can start anytime, but let's say they start today and the 10-week challenge starts in 3 weeks, they can start getting involved in classes, doing their kickboxing, doing their strength training. And then when that 10-week session starts, it's a couple hour orientation. So we do push ups for a minute, sit ups for a minute, a sit and reach, a mile run, or walk if they've got knee or hip issues. And we do the in-body machine so they can know exactly what each arm has, what each leg has and torso for body fat, bone density, muscle mass, water weight. And so we dial it right in so we know exactly how we can help them. And then we sit down with them, we go through their nutrition plan and plan it out for the first week, and then help them do that weekly so they can really plan out that what they're going to eat. Because if you don't plan it, you end up just going off the cuff, and that's not good.
Talk about the accountability part because a lot of the times that's really the missing link to it all. I mean, that's why people pay personal trainers, right? Just to have the accountability of like I paid for this hour, I'm going to show up and do it. But talk about how you pair people or group people and then they have this accountability group, and how like there are some stories that I've heard within your organization of people like when people didn't show up to class, they end up, going over to their house to be like, "Are you okay?" Kind of saying, "Come on, we need you in our group because we're all accountable to each other."
Yeah, personally going to people's houses is pretty rare. That has happened, but for the most thing we do is we want to give them a phone call. And so, Kim, if you're supposed to come at 6 a.m. for your class and you miss that class, sometime that day I'm going to hop on the phone and say, "Hey, Kim, are you okay? I missed you this morning." And then you realize somebody's watching you, somebody's holding you accountable. What we do is we assign an accountability coach to every 10 or fewer members that come in that enroll in that 10-week session. And that person's in charge of making sure they're doing their stuff, they have the technique right. It's not a personal one-on-one training, but it's a lot like that. It's personal coaching at a high level. And our coaches have all been through the program before, so they know how to really encourage people and let them know that they can do this. If I have faith and confidence and belief that you can have great success in our program, and I do that as a coach, and I just tell you that and instill that, your chances of having success are much higher because I'm instilling that faith, that belief in you. And that's so important.
And these coaches, are they paid or are they members?
They are members, so they might get a little bit of something for the number of people that finish the 10-week session, go through it, have success. But for the most part, they don't really care about the money. They just want to pay it forward because they've had success, which is a beautiful thing. And yeah, so if they're working technically, tax laws, we better pay them. So that's between us.
Well, okay, so no one's showing up at your house. He was very clear about that, guys. But
Yeah.
one thing that was very clear to me, I mean, look, I'm a fitness girl. People know the Daily Coach loves fitness franchises. And when I walked into this club in Dallas, I knew right away that it was different. There's no cardio machines, there's no, rows of TVs. This is a group class, which is what everybody wants today. They want to be instructor led, like Orange Theory Fitness, except that this has a martial arts base so that it really works for everybody.
That's right. You mentioned something about who comes into Farrell's, and I was thinking about Gary DeJesus from the Repping group that came in and coached us through a week of really peeling the layers back and find out who we are, how we market, how we let people know what we do. And our thing is about evoking pride. When somebody's failed at other fitness things, they've tried to lose weight, maybe they've tried just dieting and stuff and it hasn't worked. We want them to come in and we want to evoke pride in them. So they look in the mirror and they feel good about who they're looking at and they feel good about going to work. They feel good about putting that swimsuit on. That's really what we want to do is help them feel better about themselves to live that life at level 10.
This is a fitness concept, guys, that actually works and the people actually care. And as I was about to say, anybody can do this workout because it's low impact. If you're overweight or your joints hurt or you can't, run on a treadmill, or you can do a Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping workout. So that was very evident to me when I first walked right into the studio. And then when I learned about the accountability group, so they put you into a small group. I mean, who doesn't want to feel like they belong? That's one of the biggest obstacles or barriers of entry for people walking into a gym, especially people that aren't fitness people, but they're dying to lose weight. They would love to get in shape. And then you walk in here and they assign you to a group of people that you immediately get to have that connection with. And so when you show up to class, you get to know people's names and see their faces again and again and feel like you're a part of something, that it's not just you on this journey. It's not just you and a personal trainer or a coach. It's you and all these other people who have the same struggles as you might have with weight loss, and you're in it together, literally. And if you are successful, you can rise to the ranks and you can become a coach and you can give back, like Lance said. And Lance, tell them a little bit about your, like, that national challenge you do where you give away a little prize money at, like, annually.
Yeah, so every 10 weeks, every location gives away $1,000 to the most transformed in that 10 weeks at that location. And I was just talking to somebody yesterday. We had to pre-frame that because we would award the $1,000 and people would walk out mad because they didn't win. And so now we just started telling them, hey, look, if you think you won the money, if you think we're going to call your name that you won the $1,000, then you did win, because it's the results that are more important than the money. Right? The money is just an extra. Well, then after a few years into it, we started giving away a national prize, which is a $10,000 prize for one male, one female. That this are all locations put together, and the results have been phenomenal. We had one guy that I think the most lost in 12 months is 190 pounds, but it ranges, and many people losing over 100 pounds in a year. So clearly, they are having success long term and keeping it off. And their stories, when you read them, are just heart wrenching, and they tug on your heart. It's so fun to read those, and that's what inspires me. I do this because of these people that we're helping, and we can see that with those stories.
Yeah. So it's not the biggest name in fitness, but I think it's the biggest heart in fitness. If anybody here is interested in learning more about Farrell's extreme body shaping, Lance, would it be okay for me to invite the viewers to reach out to the Daily Coach first so that I can qualify them financially, make sure that the area that they live in is viable and open, and then we can get them teed up and then sent back over to your development team?
I couldn't think of anybody better for them to reach out to than Super Kim Daly.
I'm a huge fan of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. I want to help you grow this brand. I want to bring the absolute best people to Lance Farrell, people that have a heart to impact people in their local community, people that are looking for something that makes a positive change in their community, not just another fitness concept, because this is anything but another fitness concept. Lance, in closing the show, I want to ask you this question. So, people don't always remember what we say, but they usually remember how we make them feel. How do you most want to be remembered by your employees, your franchisees, and the viewers of the Daily Coach YouTube channel?
Just that they would remember me as having passion for wanting to help people live life at level 10, which incidentally, I just finished a book called Life at Level 10. So I'll get you one of those, Ken.
Oh, wow. Can our viewers, can we put a note about the book in the show notes or the description below so that people can buy that book if they want to?
Absolutely.
And for those who this video has inspired, if you want to learn more about this fitness concept that absolutely changes people's lives and needs to be in every corner of America, because you heard the man, the average weight gain in 2020 was 29 pounds. He's saying the average person or I don't know if he said average, but people lose over 100 pounds in a year on his program. So let's go. Let's go. If you're interested, please leave a comment below. I will reach back out to you and then I'll get you back over to the team at Extreme Body Shaping. Thank you so much for joining me today, Lance. Any words in parting?
Just really appreciate being on your show, Super Kim Daly. You are amazing. Keep up the good work.
And you are amazing. Okay, guys, until next time, I am Kim Daly, your daily coach.